Hi everyone, my name is Kanchan Wadi and I'm a counsellor and a mental health professional, and I wanted to make this video to share with you the psychological impact that the current situation with the coronavirus pandemic is having on each one of us and how we can maintain a sense of well-being in spite of this. Now, I'm sure you're already following reliable sources of information about what the government is doing and how we need to take precautions, our do's and don'ts. So all of that aside, what I wanted to discuss and what I felt was really important was to understand the mental and emotional impact this is having and could have over the next few weeks or months on all of us, given the fact that we are all home quarantined. Most of us are. The ones who cannot afford to, of course, are out there helping as nurses and health professionals. But for us, the disruption of our work, no socializing, being at home, having gone through a lot of cancellations, and the fact that there's so much fear and anxiety and uncertainty connected to this can all add up, and it is, let's face it, a very stressful situation. What we call a sociological stress in technical terms, when a large group of people go through a stressful event together. It could be an economic recession, it could be a natural calamity, or like in this case, an epidemic, and that too something that's so unprecedented. How do we maintain a sense of well-being at a time like this? Firstly, let's understand that just the way we have a financial balance sheet, there is a balance sheet when it comes to our mental health. On the one side, there is stress, and there are various kinds of stresses. Typically, stress is our body's response to a perceived threat. And on the other side, we have what is called adjustive resources. If you see the difference in people's responses to stress, some people respond with a lot of difficulty to stressful situations, and some people have better coping mechanisms. Some people are able to make opportunities out of obstacles and challenges. What is the difference between these people? The difference lies in their adjustive resources. So there are four kinds of adjustive resources. The first one is biological. Very simply put, this is our physical health, our energy levels, our stamina, how well we sleep, what kind of diet we have, how well we exercise, which of course is the very important thing as far as adjustive resources are concerned. And here I'd like to make a special mention of a practice like yoga, which now with gyms being shut and outdoor activity being so restricted, is something that we can do at home, and especially pranayam, something I really swear by, which will not only keep our immunity high, but also help us feel a sense of well-being because of, pranayam has so many benefits, which I don't need to enumerate. So that is the first category of adjustive resources. The second one is psychological adjustive resources. Here I'd like to ask you to do a little bit of a self-assessment if you haven't done that already. How good are you with crisis management as a person? How do you respond to uncertain situations? Do you have high frustration tolerance or low frustration tolerance? And most importantly, what kind of cognition do you have when you face challenges? Because as we know, it is not the event that causes the negative emotion or a negative feeling in us. It is the view we hold of it, the beliefs we hold about something that causes the emotion, the resultant emotion in us. Let me give you an example. If something challenging happens to us, like it has happened now, some of us have a tendency to awfulize it, which is in our mind we feel that it is hugely catastrophic because that is the belief system that we've been living with all this while. And therefore we feel that it is terrible, it's something that just shouldn't have happened, and that makes us feel the resultant emotion, of course, is anxiety, depression, anger, frustration. However, if we can actually look at the situation more rationally and say, well, what is it that I can do about it now that this has happened? I live in a world of uncertainty. I live in a world of challenges. What is it that I can do? What is the best I can do given the current situation? That is a more rational way of looking at the situation. So the founder of the rational emotive behavior therapy, which all of us study as counselors, Dr. Albert Ellis, said that human beings have an ability to be both constructivists and deconstructivists, and it depends on us whether we want to choose to live with self-defeating behaviors or more rational and better coping mechanisms. So I think it's a time for us to, each one of us, reflect, look inwards and see what is it that we can change within us. If we are actually feeling extreme anxiety, can we assess our thought process? Can we assess our beliefs and try and realign our beliefs? So that's something we can definitely do during this time. And of course, last but not the least, we can learn to take things with a sense of humor, however difficult it is. The third adjustive resource is sociological, and by that I mean how good we are in our teamwork, because challenges like these cannot be solved individually. Here I'd like to point out to a concept which I learnt in Buddhism called dependent origination, and that means that we cannot be happy in isolation. We live and exist in a web of interconnectedness, and we are connected to our environment, we are connected to other people, and therefore all our actions have an impact on others and vice versa. So let's use this time to understand this concept of dependent origination and see that it's of course at play all around us. Something that started in China, we're having to go through the impact of it. So whether we have a tendency to hoard things, it started with hoarding sanitizers and masks, and it has gone on to hoarding food. Are we really thinking of, in all our actions, things that will only impact us and the few people around us, or things that will impact everybody? This is something that we need to think about and expand our sociological adjustive resources. And lastly, the fourth adjustive resource is spiritual. And here I'd like to share my own experience that my spiritual practice of the last 10 years has given me tremendous hope. It has given me tremendous faith to live, especially during difficult times. It has helped me acquire the wisdom to know how to respond in good and bad times. And also, it has given me compassion towards other people. Just the way we have the theory of karma in Hinduism, we have the concept of cause and effect, which is something that's important for each one of us to understand, that whatever we go through is not a series of coincidences, but is actually the consequence or the effect of the causes that we have made in the past. So to understand that we can start making different causes from this moment onwards, all this is something that I have learned from my Buddhist practice. And it doesn't need to be just a particular, like for me it is this, for you it could be something else. As long as it is an experience of a higher reality, it's an experience that helps you understand your inherent dignity and the inherent dignity of others and also of creation, I think it is working for you. So my request is that please look after yourselves. Please hoard these adjustive resources so that they can help you cope better with this very difficult time. Conversations around this will go on, and I will post more videos. If you have any queries, please write to me. Thank you so much and take care.